Let's talk about Caleb's favorite team, the Sacramento Kings.
Nope.
The Kings had a rough week. 1-3 on the week. We talked about the Warrior game on Monday. They lost by 30. Played the Bulls on Wednesday, beat the Bulls at home, lost to Toronto by 21 on Friday night as the Raptors scored 144, and then they lost to the Blazers
You guys
on
gave up 144. Did it go to overtime?
and they lost 125 to 99 against the Trailblazers on a back-to-back on Saturday.
The Raptors had the worst offensive rating in the league. How did they score 144?
So when you combine these losses, the Warriors won by 31, the Raptors won by 21, and the Blazers won by 26, and the Kings only beat the Bulls by 4. That does not look good for the Kings at all, Caleb. They have had a really bad week, and right now Luke Walton is under the hottest seat. If he's not in a hellfire seat, then I don't know how hot his seat is, because right now Luke Walton is considered one of the worst coaches in the NBA. Now, someone like me will say he is easily the worst coach. And you would be like, Amir, why would you say that? And I'd be like, Caleb, why would you even ask that? You're an idiot. And then you'd be like, oh, you're right. And the reason why I say that is because Luke Walton gave up 137 points to a not very talented Warriors team. And we talked about this on Thursday about how tough of a game that was for the Kings. They did not show any effort. The Bagleys and the Fox family were not doing good. Before that Bulls game, they ended up squashing the beef, right? Everything was good. They won a game. Bagley played good. I saw some tweets
21 and 12, dude.
I saw some tweets, and a certain friend of mine that I will not mention said, "Hey Amir, what do you have to say about Marvin Bagley?" Well, you know what? To that person that's listening, Abe, what do you have to say about Marvin Bagley the last two games? Oh yeah, he sucks again. And you know why? Because Marvin Bagley is a one-hit wonder. He is like Tyo Cruz. That's who he's like.
Wow. I don't even know what to say right now. You know what, though? Abe has been saying it for long enough that I'm a Marvin Bagley hater. So you know what? I might as well just announce this right now. Marvin Bagley sucks. It's as simple as that. I listen. There's a saying going around that being drafted early is the best thing that could happen in your pro sports career, and I believe it 100%. Because if Bagley was taken in the second round, he'd be over. He'd be playing in Cairo, Egypt right now. He is not an NBA player. I'm sorry. He's not. He's not. He doesn't have a skill that really he can put to use. His good skill is his second jump. That's because he misses inside. He's not a good player.
Hey, you
Like he,
stole that from me.
I know, but he's not a good player, dude. Think about it. If he was drafted like 32nd overall, do you think he's still in the league with all these injuries, all this this dad stuff? Do you think he's in the league? No, he's not. And you know, people are saying, "Yeah, dude, he averaged 14 and 7 his rookie year, dude. He's really good." It's like, dude, please stop. Injury concerns. The dad stuff. If this happened, if a second round player's dad came out on Twitter and said, "Trade my son," do you think anybody's gonna want him?
They
No.
would cut
But because he,
him.
yeah, because he's a second overall pick, they're like, well, he's got the talent. Like, no, he doesn't. That's the thing with Dragon Bender. When Dragon Bender was taken fourth overall,
Steve Bender
he
alone.
somehow got another contract with Milwaukee, and everyone was like, yeah, being drafted early is the best thing that could ever happen in your career because he's not an NBA player. Just like Marvin Bagley, he's not an NBA player. Bagley will end up playing. I'm going to make a prediction that Bagley's going to have an Epe Udo type career where he just bounces around and then eventually 5 years.
Wow. All right. You know what? You don't diss our first and best guest on this show. Don't ever do that again. Now take that back and
I,
compare him to the other guy. Go.
I take him back. I'll compare him to Glenn Davis. He'll have some moments here and there, but he's going to find himself. Marvin Bagley will be the 2027 Big Three MVP. That's my biggest prediction for Marvin Bagley's career. He doesn't have one in the future of the NBA. I'm sorry, he
Well,
doesn't.
before he gets the MVP in the big three, I'm sure his dad will request to trade him too at that point. But no, I agree with you. Marvin Bagley is not good. And we're not going to spend too much time talking about this because we already spent 2 weeks talking about Marvin. And we need to talk about some other Kings. But again, I said it before, and I said this last year, that Harry Giles is better than Marvin Bagley. And I full-heartedly have believed that for the past 2 years.
You
And
know
we can't
why?
say otherwise.
Because here's the thing: Bagley doesn't have a bankable skill, right? His ceiling in the NBA is probably a bench player on a mediocre team. Giles has a bankable skill. His passing and playmaking, like his vision, is ridiculous, right? He's a top 5 passing big in the league from the high post, right? Well, actually, I'd probably say he's higher than that from the high post. When Cutter's cut, he's going to find you. Having a bankable skill will get you on the roster of a good team like Portland. And you kind of see it now. I mean, he doesn't play that much for Portland, but if you need that guy in there that can go to the high post, flash, make some plays, he's your guy for that. Bagley doesn't have that skill where a good team can be like, go in there and do something. What's he going to do? Go in there
Bagley doesn't do.
he's going to, here's what would somebody would team, some team is going to say, go out there and do a fast second jump. Like, nobody's saying that. Nobody.
And the thing is, Harry Giles is not getting minutes, correct. But Marvin Bagley would not get minutes under the Portland Trailblazers either. Let's keep that in mind. Would Marvin get minutes behind Yusuf Nurkic, Zach Collins, Carmelo Anthony? No. I'm sorry, but I would take Carmelo Anthony at this point over what Marvin Bagley brings on the offensive and defensive end. And let's talk about the rest of the players. Now, again, you lost to the Toronto Raptors giving up 144. That's on Luke Walton. 125 given up to Toronto on a back-to-back after you just gave up 144 and you didn't
How
play your
many did they
starters.
give up to the Raptors? Can you say it one more time?
144 with no overtimes. And I was watching.
They have the worst offensive rating in the league.
They had 137 points with 8 minutes to go. So let's just say that Toronto took their foot off the gas. It was one of the worst defensive games I've seen. The Kings genuinely this week have made me very upset. And I'm so done with Luke Walton. I'm so over Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley is the biggest bust in Sacramento Kings history. You can't convince me otherwise. He is one of the worst players we have ever drafted. And Jimmy Fredette, Thomas Robinson, Ben McLemore, Nick Stiles, because these guys were all not near projected Marvin Bagley's level. And Marvin Bagley's not that player.